Want to write a winning conference proposal that gets you accepted to the academic conference that you want to be at? I'm telling you how in this video. Hi everybody, I'm Leigh from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia to make your best impact. Today we're talking about how to write a winning conference proposal, right? You want to go to a conference, you want to present at it. How can we make that happen for you, all right? And some of these conferences are incredibly competitive. So you're going to want these tips to help you succeed and up your chances of being able to get in. So the first thing, and I'm going to assume that you know some basic stuff, right? I'm going to assume that you know submit your things on time, read the directions, make sure you adhere to them. All right, so let's assume you know that. Let's just move past that. Let's get that out of the way, okay? We don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about some other tips, right? We're going to dig down so that you can really get to the stuff that matters. First of all, keep in mind who your audience is. Now, obviously, you have in mind who you want to present to, who you might see showing up and attending whatever session it is you're proposing. That's your second audience, okay? Your first audience are the reviewers. And obviously, you don't know who your reviewers are because they're anonymous and honestly, sometimes they're somewhat randomly selected. Sometimes they're more mindfully selected than others, but there's a pool of reviewers that, are going to be selected and identified to review your proposal. You can't target at a specific individual, right? Because you don't know who your reviewers are going to be. But think about with that conference, what is it that reviewers like? Okay, what tends to be a really high quality proposal that gets accepted? All right, so what I would do here if I was new, particularly if I was new to writing proposals for any conference, and particularly if I was writing proposals for a conference that has a very low acceptance, high rejection rate, is I would find someone who has been accepted at least once, but ideally gets going there, is accepted there on a regular basis, and ask to see anywhere from 1 to 3 of their proposals. Now, they may not be writing a conference proposal that targets the same kind of session that you're going to do. So, for example, let's say you want to do a poster session, and all you can do is find somebody who has done symposiums, all right? It doesn't matter, okay? Even though there are going to be differences, if that's all that you can find, then you know what? Take that proposal, evaluate it, analyze it, look at what makes it a high quality proposal. And if you can get multiple of these, particularly across multiple people, you can start to identify some themes and patterns. You can then work that into your proposal as well. But that aside, I'm still going to give you some tips and strategies that you can use that are going to help carry your proposal a long way and up the ante that it's going to be successful. All right, so once you've reviewed the directions, you've analyzed some successful proposals, when it comes time to write your proposal, the first thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is to just set up an outline where the headings for each section are the major headings for the proposal, all right? And use the language that is used in the proposal. So for example, if in the proposal they ask you to let's say background on the literature, okay? Let's say you don't like that. Let's say you just don't like that title. Let's say you want to change it and call it theoretical framework, all right? Which could be slightly different, but content. But let's just say you decide you're going to change it to theoretical framework. Don't do that, all right? Call it background on the literature, even though you may not personally like that title. What that does is it signals, when you use the same language, what that does is it signals to reviewers that, hey, this is a requirement. Writing about background on the literature is a requirement in the proposal, and here is mine, okay? And they don't have to dig around. They don't have to go, oh, did this person include this information? Oh, they did, but they put it over here with a different section heading. And don't make your reviewers work. Make it super easy for your reviewers to find the content that they need to find, all right? And one way that you can do that is by using the same headings and subheadings that are in the directions, in the proposal, in the order in which they were placed in, all right? So when we're thinking about making things super easy for your reviewers, let's get to the next point, minimize your jargon, all right? And this is really true, particularly for very new people. If you're new to the writing conference proposal, sometimes we tend to think that if we use jargon and big complicated words and long sentences, then somehow we sound smart, or we sound smarter. We sound more like we know what we're doing. That's really a sign of, I think, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think that's kind of a sign of insecurity, because you don't really need big words, long sentences, and a lot of complicated jargon to get your message across. What you want to do is minimize that jargon. Obviously, you're going to have some specialized technical terms that are going to be relevant to your work that you're going to have to use, that you're going to be expected to use, particularly by your reviewers. But what are we talking about? 1 or 2? 3 at the most? 3 is probably a lot. So probably 1, maybe 2, okay? Other than that, you don't need any specialized jargon. Get rid of it, okay? Make it easy for your reviewers to comprehend, knowing that your reviewers, right, don't necessarily have all of the same background knowledge that you bring, okay? They're going to bring various amounts of background knowledge to your proposal. Their level of expertise may vary. All right, so that leads me to my final suggestion for how you can craft a winning conference proposal. What you want to do is very early on, craft a clear and effective argument. Make it evident what the main point, main purpose of your conference presentation is, or what your poster is, or your roundtable, whatever it is, your session that you're applying for, what's your main argument? And then show us how it is supported by theory and research, okay? And if you can do that in a very clear, concise way that follows the directions given, that's using the headings and the subheadings, using the language in the directions, and is minimizing the use of jargon, then you are one step closer, if not 90% closer or more, to having an effective conference proposal that is going to get you the acceptance that you want. All right, want more advice for achieving the career that you want to have in higher ed? Follow me on over to the next video.